Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I know it's been a while, but I'm back and I plan to start working on my comparison videos and all that good stuff. But first I wanted to show you some paints. So one of my favorite makers of handmade watercolors, I have a big fetish with handmade watercolors, by the way, simply because I find it incredibly rewarding to make art with someone else's art. That's how I look at it. And one of my favorite is Designs by Rachel Beth, and she's super sweet and had sent me a couple to show you guys. Now, I felt really awful. I was out of town for soccer stuff, and I came back and found them, and I was like, oh shoot. That said, one of these is still in stock on her Etsy right now, so you can go snag it. Also, keep an eye out because even though you'll see a set right now and it's not in her store, one, always message her, let her know if you're interested in that set. But two, she does bring them back, so you can snag it. In fact, one of her sets, it was like called Enchanted Forest or something. I had waited and it finally came back and I snagged that bad boy. So we've got 3 sets here, but before I get into that, I want to talk about her adorable packaging. First of all, they're always wrapped in these cute little tissue paper things, but also she always sends you dot card samples, which are really fun. And this one, for example, it says the name of the set, so Lilac Groves, and the color. And I'm actually excited about this one because this is in her store right now as well, the Lilac Groves. But I have a few, so like from Peach Please. She's really good with puns, by the way, and just creative names. But we've got a Peach Cobbler. I got another one from the Lilac Groves, Blooming Buds. And then Salmon Berry Flowers, You're the Berry Best. And then I got another one from Peach Please, which is Rain Washed. Oop. And then from the Warm Brown Sugar one, I got Frosted Candles. I'll swatch those later though. We're here for the fun stuff. But I have 2 packages that I had received from her. And look at these little cute little paintings she sends, and then there's notes on the back for me. But it's great because she's super sweet. She's in Idaho, I'm in Utah. It's like we're neighbors in a way. But she sends me these, and then she does include this now, I've noticed, along with some stickers. But she has this now, just letting you know every Friday that's when she releases her paints. I don't know how she does it. I tried to make watercolors and whew, too much work. And so I got some really cute stickers with these too, so I'm gonna have to save those. They're like vintagey, I love it. Okay, so the 3 sets she sent me. Dried Botanicals, Moonless Dune Night, which like I said is in the store right now, and Flossom. Now all of her sets are, you can get full pan and half pan, but usually full pan sells out pretty quick. Sometimes she doesn't bring out the full pan, just depends. But they all come like this, so they have their little tin. You can actually opt whether you want the tin or not, but they come with a tin. It'll say the name on it, and then inside you have a swatch card, so if you keep them in the tin and you take it on the go, you know what's there. And then they're all wrapped so freaking delicately and cute. So it'll have the name on it, and then like her, you know, branding. And then I'll show you. I will not unwrap each one of these on camera, but I'm unwrapping this one because unlike a lot of others where I've gotten handmade watercolors, now hers is a honey based, so if these are sticky to you by any means, pop them in the fridge for a minute and then the wrapping won't stick. But what's great about hers is, one, they have a magnet, so ta-da! They don't slide around. 2, she actually labels the half pan itself. A lot don't, so I have to sit there and like write it on there. So it's like a little effort, but goes a long way. So what I'm gonna do is sit and unwrap all these beautiful little sets. Look at these, aren't these so cute? And it looks like she changed up her labeling with these new ones. So it still has the name up here, and then it just wraps around. I kind of like that more than the full wrap around. It's easier for me too. So yeah, let's get these unwrapped and then we'll swatch them in my actual swatch book so you can see them. I've even already prepped it. This is just the Etcher cold press sketchbook that I love to use. So yep, give me one sec. Okay, we have unwrapped every single one. That is the most tedious part of any sort of watercolor unboxing and swatching. So today I am going to be using my handy dandy number 8 silver black velvet. I'll leave links in the description below to everything used today, right down to the colors. And then my trusty paint pup cup. I highly suggest you get one of these. I don't even know how I lived without it, to be honest. So let's get started. I've just made 4 little rows here. Figured it would be easier to put them together. So let's start with the dried botanicals. Now I'm going to zoom you in. I will warn you, if you're not a fan of clove oil, hers do have clove oil. I love it. I love the smell. Her stuff also wets really easily. Doesn't take much to reconstitute it, which is nice. But her paints are a little soft, especially like right now, and it's here in Utah, it's not hot. It's like maybe 80 today. So these were a little soft, but they haven't been outside. They've actually been sitting on my desk. So they re-wet really easily. It just has that nice clove oil. But if you're not a fan of clove, then you may find it a little too strong. So I always like to just kind of remind people of that. All right. Here we go. Dried magnolia. Ooh, that's kind of earthy. Then we've got our dried gemgrass. Kind of reminds me of a, why can't I think of the name right now? There is a color out there. It's not coming to me. I'm sure someone can comment. You know what color I'm talking about. All right, dried, oh, I'm so gonna ruin this name. What is it? Banksia? Whatever it is gorgeous. Look at that color. Wow, that's a pretty one. Okay, dried magnolia leaves. This is also kind of a more opaque one. It's pretty though. Okay, so that's that one. We'll look at them when they're dry, of course, too, because watercolors should never, ever be judged while wet. All right, so let's get on to the Moonless Dunes Nights. So we've got Singing Sand. Like I said, this one is in her store right now. Singing Sand. Ooh, that's a very pretty one. Nice and rusty. Okay, we've got our Distant Dunes. Now, I know some people wonder, like, what's the point of buying like a little 4-piece curated set? Well, one, I just am obsessed with collecting them. But eventually I actually plan to take all of her sets I've purchased over the years and just combine them into one big old palette. But oh my gosh, look at that color. Wow, that is luscious. But it's just kind of fun, and you can still mix and match, and the amount of water you put in, you know, you can water them down. So it's just a fun little thing. Okay, this one is the prettiest green ever. Oh wow, I like that one. I can't wait to see this, how it looks dry. Okay. So let's move on to Flossom, because I just love the name and I love the name of the colors. So we are on to Happy Accidents. This one's like so cheerful. I love it. Happy Accidents. Ooh, I like it. Okay, now we're on to Discover Opportunity. Just making sure I get a good chunk. She does do glitter sets sometimes. None of these ones are glitter, but just FYI, because she does have glitter ones. She does say in the listing though it's like a glitter set. So Beautiful Oops. That's like the story of my life. That's how I paint. Beautiful Oops. I really like this palette. Okay, I'm very curious to see what this color is. It's always so hard to tell when they're in the pan. You can hear it moving around over here. All right, Embrace Progress. It's a nice little gray there. So we'll have to zoom out. So these are still wet right now. So you'll want to keep that in mind, and I'll wait for them to dry to give you the final overview. But they're really pretty. I actually really like this color palette. But as you can see, I did swatch them inside their little tins like this as well. Ooh, look at the separation that's going on that one. I'm getting better separation here than I am here. So we'll see how they look when they dry. And this one too, these two are like very earthy. Like you could put these together in your own little earthy palette. Oh, these would be actually stunning for fall. And then add like a little purple in there. And this would be a beautiful fall palette, like a dark purple. I don't know, just me. And then yeah, this one here, it's just pretty. It's Flossom. That's what it is. So let me let these dry and then we'll take a look and go from there. Okay, so everything is all dry. I was just playing around for a little bit and doing some doodling. I haven't played with watercolor in like 4 months, so I feel rather rusty. It's not like riding a bike sometimes. But anyway, this is just how they look dry. They're really pretty. I am in love with these two palettes. Like I actually will probably, when I create my fall palette, pull some of these in there, especially with my new palette, studio palette I have, where I can snap in half pans from whomever I want or full pans. It'll be nice because I can take these handmade watercolors as well and add them to my palette, so I'm not just like limited to the wells and having to use tube paints. I can use a combo of tube paints and pans. And it doesn't mean I have to use a brand. I can use like Handmade. So I'm definitely going to be adding some of these to my fall palette, if not everything here, because I really like those colors, especially Sky Glow. It has such a wonderful finish. It's pretty. And I know these two look quite similar. They are close, but not the exact same. So just so you know. In fact, if you look up here, might be easier to tell. This is the purple sand verbena, and then this is dried banksia. I'm sure I butchered it again. So they are a little different, but I was just playing around. So yeah, the whole point of this video is just I wanted to show you the 3 sets she had sent me for one, but just why I really love handmade watercolors. In general, it's always fun to see what people create. I mean, because they're sitting there, one, grinding these into watercolor, which, have you ever watched a video of that being done? It's not easy. But two, the palettes they create, and just how unique they can be if you think about it. I mean, there's tons I could do just taking this palette off with me and paint stuff. So it's fun, but I plan to eventually put all mine together in a single palette. In fact, speaking of sparklies, I have her last one that I had done a video on, and there's some sparkly bits, but I don't know if it's showing the shimmer. So yeah, she does have the shimmery ones, but none of these ones were shimmery, but that is totally fine. To each their own if you want shimmeries or not. And that's a word now today, shimmeries. But thanks for hanging out with me. I hope you check out Rachel Beth's store. I'll leave a link in the description below. But also check out other handmade watercolors they're just so fun. And then you're supporting a small business. And like I said, my biggest thing is it's creating art with someone else's art, and that matters like way more to me than anything else. So until next time, take care, everyone. Bye now.